guys, welcome to another episode of Midnight Madness Chats with Hardman. I've got a great artist on the air tonight. Please introduce yourself and introduce your band.
So, hello, I'm Julie, and I'm the vocalist of Tessia.
Hello, I'm Dennis, and I'm the guitarist of Tessia.
So I was introduced to Tessia by watching you guys perform live at the Wacken 2024 Metal Battle. Tell me about the experience. Tell me about the whole performance.
It was amazing. It's such high stakes. It's such a big festival. So, of course, had lots of nerves and everything. But the electricity was really, really high. The mood was really high. Nerves as well, of course. But the whole experience was just amazing. Yeah, that's an understatement. It was truly amazing.
So, Dennis, tell me about the experience. You went from camping to playing a show. So tell me, how do you, one moment you're camping and next moment it's like that big moment is showtime. Tell me how did you feel about that?
Yeah, it was pretty crazy because we were like, we were really hoping that we maybe got to play for like 400 people. But then we just sat at the camp, relaxing, and then we just put up the stream, the Wacken Metal Battle stream. And we are like, wow, holy fuck. It's so many people there. And we're like, wow, this is going to be insane. And so all of the band was just looking at the small phone and was like, wow, this is going to be amazing. But as Julie said as well, it kind of increases the nerves as well. But yeah.
I think you guys fucking killed it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Oh, that's really awesome. Thank you.
Yeah. No, not at all. We was just joining for getting a gig and just trying to kind of just trying. We didn't know we were going to win at all. Even in Bergen, the competition was really high. That's the semifinals or something like that. But then we came to Trondheim, where the Norwegian finals were. And we were like, okay, we won Bergen, so we had like, okay, we are pretty happy that we come to the Norwegian finals. But then there was random selection, but who would play when the different band would play, and we got like the kind of worst, the last one at like 12 at the night. But we were like, yeah, okay, we just have to do what we can. And the venue was really small, so sweaty and so hot. One of the monitors were smoking and almost caught on fire. And we were like, oh shit, we have to perform, not just worry about our safety. But then we just, it was a really cool show and the people really loved it. But when we saw the other bands as well, they were like, oh damn, they're using every trick in the book. Everything we are using that maybe some of the other bands wasn't in the qualifying rounds. So we were like, wow, how can we win this? So we were like, yeah, whatever, it's going to be fun. And then they announced their name as winners. So we were like, what?
Well,
really.
That's insane. Julie, tell me about the attitude of the other bands during the battle.
No, really, really friendly. Everybody was just happy to be there, you know. Everybody was honored to play in each other's company. Because like Dennis said, the stakes were so high, the bands were so good. And just to be like we played last and seeing all the other bands, I was like, shit, we are going to play the same night as all these other amazing bands. And I had the feeling that the feeling was mutual from the other bands. It was definitely very friendly. The backstage was on fire. So yeah, it was really fun.
That's great. Also, Julie, tell me a little bit about how the band started and who influenced your vocal style, and what bands do you listen to?
So my music style has gotten heavier and heavier over the years. But all the way back, I started listening to a little band called Arch Enemy, and I just heard the vocals, and I was like, "Yeah, this dude is really great. This is cool." And when I learned that that was a woman, that was Angela Gasso, I was like, "I'm gonna do that." I didn't have the guts to do it, and I didn't know how back then. But I was like, "Holy shit, this is amazing." But now recently I hear much more heavier bands, like Cattle Decapitation is one of my favorites at the moment. And his vocals are extreme and so impressive, and he really pushes the boundaries of what the human voice can do. And so I'm really inspired by that, even if I maybe not be there yet, but hopefully.
Well, I was listening to your guys' music earlier, and I can't remember the song's name because I just put it on repeat. And there's a specific song where there's a breakdown that hits. And it's fucking heavy. And I really lately I've been enjoying female vocalists more because, like yourself, I wasn't expecting like such fucking power. Even though I do believe women vocalists are good, but I wasn't expecting it. And then when it hit, I was like, "What the fuck is this? Great! This is fucking amazing."
Cool. That's what I'm going for.
Yeah. Yeah, my biggest influences is Gojira, Machine Head. Those are like pretty huge. But I'm kind of like I am always exploring metal, always checking the newest, always trying to find new bands. So I kind of get inspired by everything. But yeah.
Like we both started out listening to a lot of melodic death metal bands like In Flames and Dark Tranquillity. So that I think for me and Dennis, that is like where we started out with this, with our music listening, but also music making.
Yeah.
So I know that Norwegian bands don't fuck around. I know you guys are known to have the heavy stuff. So how did that influence your specific style?
Yeah, it's several ways, I think. It kind of like Norwegian metal is kind of 90% black metal. And it kind of I don't know, black metal with it is inspiring to us. There's many types of riffs and even vocals with the newer stuff that's kind of more black metal-ish. But also when I was growing up, I didn't really like black metal, and I was always more drawn towards the Swedish melodic death metal bands. But so it was kind of like even like a burning desire to kind of show Norwegian that we can do other stuff than just black metal and church burnings. So yeah.
Yeah, it's the same for me. I got more inspired by the Swedes and the Finns in metal.
Yeah, so being South African, we know the Swedish death metal to be like the brutal shit, and then we know the fucking Norwegian black metal as well because we look up to the world. I must admit, our South African scene has grown quite nicely. I think we draw inspiration from like the Swedish death metal bands and the Norwegian black metal bands, and our whole sort of scene shaped into all these amazing bands. But I think on an international level, all the bands from all over the world are getting really good and better and better and better with modern times. Julie, tell me, how did Tessia start?
So we were a group of friends that just wanted to play together, basically. Like it started just as a hobby band in like a local rehearsing space, and then we decided to make a band out of it, and then Tessia was born in 2016, and yeah, so it's like I said, it just started as a little group of friends wanting to hang out and jam a little bit.
When you guys started out, did you guys ever think like you would take this for over? It's been 8 years. You've been a band for 8 years. Did you guys ever think that your band would last for 8 years?
No, no,
Uh,
not
yes and
really.
no. It kind of depends. In the start, yes, of course, because we are all young. Everyone's kind of on the same path. The lineup is great. We just friend, but then things kind of change. Like we are growing up, people are drawn towards different directions. So we have had our ups and downs as a band as well. There have been times when it's been like, ugh, I don't think this is going to last. But we've gotten a pretty strong lineup now of people kind of wanting to do the same thing, and everyone's really motivated, and we are kind of like we kind of got the feeling back like we had in the start, that everyone's having fun, everyone's really liking what we're doing, everyone's really enjoying the new kind of direction, more heavier style of music we're creating now. So yeah.
So how do you guys handle band politics?
Uh,
Oh.
we are. It's kind of like I'm the captain, not like captain on the ship, but captain of a soccer team or football, as we call it here in Europe. That's that. I'm kind of like leading us towards a common set goal. But other than that, we're pretty democratic. We're always trying to kind of like make everyone happy, but we also kind of respect the vision of the songwriter. But there's never been like a time someone had used a veto to say like, no, I'm not going to do this. But we're also trying not to do too many compromises, as too much compromise can kind of like muddy the original vision. So yeah.
Yeah.
Julie, tell me about your songwriting process and how you guys write new music.
So often the person who comes with the song, which is usually one of the guitarists, they often have a vision of what they want the song to be about and what it is going to be, like what the lyrics are going to be. And then I take that idea into account and make it my own, so that the lyrics fits what I want to sing upon it and stuff. Yeah, that's usually how it's done.
Yeah, and we are kind of we try not to mingle too much in giving Julie too much pointers, because she is such more talented than us in creating melodies and vocal lines. So we kind of like, okay, I don't want to tell you how I want this to be done, because every time she comes back with something, it's a lot better than what I would have created.
Yeah. So
So-
usually I'm presented
I-
with an idea. And
So
then
I
I
call
work on it.
that artistic interpretation, and I've been using that word quite a bit in my own band, because we all so every member writes guitar music and everyone plays their own instruments and stuff. So what if someone brings an idea to the band, what we do is we give it to each member and we say, okay, well, this is the guitar riff, you're the guitarist, like, go have fun with it. And it's very similar to what you're saying. You know, there's an idea written, and now you take it and you develop your own style into that thing. That makes great music. I love that concept. I think that's how you grow as a musician. Tell me about the themes of the lyrics of the band.
Before, we kind of like song about many different things. We are pretty geeks, everyone, so pretty inspired by having like Easter eggs of having video game topics and stuff in the songs. Like the generations before was inspired by books. Now we are inspired by video games. But yeah, in the newest EP and the upcoming album, The Cataclysm, I kind of created a concept album that we created the totally new universe where gods are fighting, and how the gods are fighting is affecting the people that's living on the planet, like planet Earth. But the gods don't really know what they are doing is affecting the humans. So they are having like a cosmic fight, and the Cataclysm Part 2 that's coming out is about how the people are affected by the gods fighting, and the Cataclysm Part 1 that's out now with the songs you've heard and we played at Wacken, that's about the gods fighting and the struggles around that. So it's pretty heavy and geeky.
Yeah. It's a
I
big
fucking-
universe, a really big, big thing, big story.
I love that. I love the metaphors and I love the idea. I think it's going to be a great album. The second part of it's going to be great. I'm looking forward to that. Tell me, do you guys game together?
Me and Yuli game a lot together.
Yeah.
We have been gaming like I think, well, maybe not our drummers. He's gaming a lot as well, but we haven't gamed together.
Well, would you say that, Julie, would you say that influenced your relationship in a positive way?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, because we also tried gaming together, but I'm not very good at gaming. I used to game. I've been gaming for about 10 years. And my drummer he's a lot younger than me. So he's very good at playing games. And I suck, so we don't play together anymore. So on that note, we're going to play a game. I play this game with all the artists I have on the show. It's a game called Is It a Band? So what happens is you guys have to tell me, I'm going to give you a band name and you're going to tell me, is it a band or is it not a band? There's 10 bands. So the first band is called Fuck Off Police Car. Is it a band?
Fuck Off Police Car. No, that's not a band.
It could be, but I don't think so, no.
So it is a band. It's actually a South African band.
Wow.
It's my home language is called Afrikaans, and the band's name is Fuck Off Police Car. So that is just a translation of Fuck Off Police Car. And there's a lot of controversy about the name. They've been pulled over by the cops. They've been arrested. It's like funny as hell, but they're living life.
Wow.
So the next band is called Peanut Butter Conspiracy. Is it a band?
Yeah,
Yes.
I think so.
Yeah.
It
I
is
like
a
the name
band.
as well.
Definitely. An American band. Then the next one is Kung Fu Kangaroos. Is it a band?
Yeah, I think so.
I think no, but it could be a band.
It could be, definitely.
Yeah, I'm saying no.
I'd say yes.
It's not a.
Oh.
It's not a band. The Hairy Unicorns. Is it a band?
Yes.
Yeah.
You think so? No, it's not.
Oh,
Well,
It's not a band.
someone should make that a band.
yeah.
Someone should make it a band. It's fucking random as hell. The Dead Milkmen. Is it a band?
The Dead Milkman? Yeah.
I hope so.
It is a band. It's an American band. There's a lot of
Nice.
American bands with random names.
Yeah.
The Turbo Toaster, is it a band?
No,
Yes, but I'm going to say no.
no.
It's not a band. Alien Ant Farm, is it a band?
Yes.
Yes.
That is a band.
I think I heard
Cardboard
about it.
Sausage Factory, is it a band?
No.
Yes.
Sounds like a Polish band, but it's not a band.
Oh,
The Polka Dot Piranhas, is it a band?
no.
Yes.
Um, it's not a band.
Oh,
And then the last one, the Flaming Lips, is it
Yes.
a band?
yes.
Flaming Lips. Yeah, I think so.
It is definitely a band. How would you guys describe Tessa's live performance?
We try to be very coherent, like a unity. And I think like we've heard a lot of feedback that we pull that off, that we actually look like a unit and as a band together. So that's what we are going for at least.
Because many bands are saying like our level, kind of local up and coming band. There's often just the vocalist that's kind of what I'm calling it working. They are like the only one that's doing something besides looking at their guitar. But every one of us is kind of like putting work into it. And we are always talking about the mentality that you have to put out energy for the audience to give back the energy we want, and we can't just give all that responsibility to Yuli. So we're kind of everyone working hard, and we kind of feel like people are like, wow, this hits really differently because everyone is kind of into it.
What I can say from the performance I watched, it's definitely high energy. It's like an explosion that just happened, you know. It's you see this band come on, you're like, okay, this looks like it's gonna be good, and then it's like destruction. That makes any sense.
Yeah.
We've seen it as well. We're like, some people are like, we are always kind of underdogs. Some people are like, oh, a female vocalist at a death metal concert or something, and they're like, oh, this is going to be like Nightwish. And then we start, and we have just seen people just standing there and just they don't know how to react. They just yeah.
What is your favorite venue to play in Norway?
I would say, okay, so we had, this is like for people of Bergen know this. It was an old place called Garage that was like the haven for metalheads in Bergen locally, and that was my favorite. But sadly, it's no longer. And yeah, we have played on a few other stages around in Norway, and it's like nobody can really match our home turf. Oh, it's a silly thing to say, but Garage was such a, like I said, haven for us. So yeah, nobody
Yeah,
could match it.
it was a centerpiece for every musician in Bergen, because if you went there, you would meet people who played music all the time. And like Julie said, there's a lot of favorite venues that's not around anymore because of COVID. Like the small venues didn't survive, so it's kind of hard now to find good venues.
Dennis, tell me, what was your favorite show of all time?
Vaken. Absolutely playing at Vaken. That was so insane. I just remember standing there and just seeing that so many people everywhere. I could see it was just people, and we have never played for something like that before. And I was just shocked, and I just stood there in awe. And I just had to say to myself, okay, you have to remember to perform. You can't just look at people. And I'm really proud as well because you could see like the Norwegian flags and stuff like that. So it kind of felt like we were the Norwegian national team in metal. So yeah, that's definitely my favorite show we've ever had.
So, Julie, tell me about after you guys played Wacken and you guys went back home to Norway, how has that impacted your musical careers?
I remember feeling I had like a turning point at the Holy Ground at Wacken. I was like, okay, that this was after we had played the show. I was like watching other big bands up on the huge stages, and I was like, I want to be up there. I want to go up there. So I got a whole new set of motivation when I came home. I was like, okay, we gotta make good music. We gotta continue this shit. We gotta push on. Like, yeah, the energy of the band is much stronger than it has ever been before. I think we are all much more motivated and much more like, fuck yes, this is it. We want to do this.
Yeah,
So,
and as well, the public perception has kind of shifted as well. It's kind of weird because when some people say that we are a good band because we have won something, people are like, "Oh, the Tessia they're pretty good as well," just because we have kind of won something. And it's kind of strange that it's like that, but yeah. So we're getting a lot more kind of fame.
it's not just about going to Germany. A lot of bands make it to Germany, but a lot of bands try their best, but it's difficult to make an impact. And my personal opinion, you guys fucking made an impact. You were there, you were ready, and you were like, fuck the world, we're gonna fuck everything up tonight. And you did. You did, and it was fucking impressive to watch. I wish I could see you guys like live.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, you're very far from me, so it won't happen
Yeah.
soon.
Yeah, Julie as well. She after the concert, the days after we were at a whole festival and watched so many shows, and everywhere we went, everyone was stopping Julie. They said, "Oh, can I have a selfie?" Because there were so many people that watched us. So she got, and she's kind of iconic with the red hair. So everywhere we went, people stopped her for a selfie, and that was pretty surreal.
Talking about all the fans reacting to you guys, how important is fan interaction to you?
Well, the feedback, like fans are everything to a band. So without fans, we can't play. So that the interaction that we have gotten is so meaningful. Like it's so important to know that we are doing something right. Like people like our music, and to get that interaction and that confirmation from people it's amazing. It's so cool.
Yeah, and we are always talking about just playing the show is just part of the job. Every time we play, we are kind of we are going out after we played. We meet the fans and meet the audience. We're always kind of like approachable, and even before the shows, trying to catch the other bands, trying to hang around, and really appreciate everyone that's coming and trying to say that as well to people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, what is the biggest band that ever watched you perform?
Good question. Well, biggest band. Well, we played we played a gig at at a small town recently. It was actually a wine bar, but the place was packed. A small place. It was packed, and everyone really loved it. But one of the audience members there was the vocalist of well, he was the vocalist of Gorgoroth. His name's Gal. He's now Gal's Dyrd, I believe, or something. And he was sitting there and watched the whole show, but we don't really know if he liked it or not.
No, I hope he did.
Yeah, he sat through the whole show, so
yeah.
So you guys were saying earlier that you released part 1 of the EP and part 2 is on the way. What other big things is coming for Tessia in the upcoming future?
Well, it's no, we have just yesterday we listened to all of we have totally finished recording the Catechism Part 2, and we finished it, so we are sending it to mixing and mastering now. So we hope that is going to come out spring, early summer. But other than that, we're just trying now to play a lot of gigs. We're trying to put together a tour, a festival, and trying to get on the road. So yeah.
Where can we find you guys on all the streaming platforms, Facebook and all that? And tell me about your handles.
So we have a Facebook page, an Instagram page, Tessia Band, and our music is, I think it's everywhere, Spotify and YouTube and Apple Music. I think it's, and Dennis has more control of where our music. I think it's everywhere.
Tell me your opinion on streaming platforms. How do you feel about them?
It got positives and negatives, right? It goes like it's easier than ever to find new music. More bands get the opportunity to try their chance to get heard. That's something that's really nice. A band couldn't do that before. You had to have a label, right? So it was a lot of kind of like gatekeeping before, but now it's easier. But also it's so oversaturated. What's it like? 20,000 songs released every day on Spotify, something like that. It's totally crazy. So you have to be like, you can't even be amazing to get noticed. You have to be like, you have to be so many roles. You have to be almost a social media influencer to get noticed, and that's not so fun because we kind of want to make music and play, not do everything. So no, we have to like create our own music videos. We have to do graphic design. We have to do everything. So yeah, it's kind of harder in one way to be be a musician with streaming, but yeah, it gives other people the chance though.
So I was speaking to my drummer about this yesterday. Actually, I said because he said, "Fuck it, bro. I just want to be a musician." So I said, "Well, you can't. You need to be a fucking, like you said, social media influencer. You need to put all the marketing together. You need to sort of be like a psychologist because especially as a band leader, Dennis will understand. But you're working with different personalities." And sometimes personalities conflict, and you have to sort of diffuse the situation, and it's fucking tough. Like I think in the past bands sort of had no responsibilities. Like if you take like Metallica or Guns N' Roses or the big bands, they had no responsibilities. They were like fucking poor people, and they like had one goal, like make music and stuff. And then it became easier, and then they made a lot of money, and then they hired all the people to do all the stuff. Where for smaller bands, like literally you are doing every fucking thing yourself, and the smallest little mix up, and things tend to not always work out like you planned. Where can we buy band merch?
Yeah, that's
Tessia.
Coming. Yeah, Tessia.
Yeah.
It's coming. We are working at a web page where we will start selling band merch.
As of now, you can just send us a message and we will ship it out to you. But like Dennis said, in the future, we are working on a online store.
Perfect. Any last words from you guys?
Thank you so much for having us. It's really cool.
Yeah, that is. And check us out. That we will be super, super honored if people listening or watching this would check us out.
Yeah, definitely.
Spotify or YouTube. We have created our own music videos, so it'd be cool if you watch those as well.
Guys, check out this band. This band is fucking great. I love this fucking band. I think they are one of the fucking upcoming bands. Going to be great if you guys could check them out. But yeah, thank you guys so much for coming on. I really enjoyed this.
Yeah.